Hello, hello. Welcome. This is a live stream by Ethan Lagman from Separate from Mental Health. I am a little fact about me. I am a college student from Loyola University. I'm an intern for Separate from Mental Health. Thank you to everyone that helped me set this up today. Thank you, Adrienne. And so today I'll be talking about some very pretty heavy topics. Some not so heavy, some pretty heavy. But this is for people who are in college or are planning to go into college. You know, times are now getting really hard for mental health. It's great that we have these resources to help us, and um, I'm just glad to be able to share my experiences with how I deal with things such as anxiety, stress, and depression. So, first, I'm going to be talking about stress. And stress is pretty, I don't know how you say this. Stress is common. Stress is everywhere in our lives, and you're not gonna have anyone that doesn't have to experience it. Especially in college, you're dealing with work, you're dealing with school, life, and sometimes people handle it better than others. Uh, for me, I guess my stress comes from just school. Being able to be home away from home is really hard to do, hard to handle, and you aren't alone in the situation. Um, my biggest stressors in my life happen to be just worrying about graduating, worrying about, oh my God, I'm gonna get this assignment in. Am I gonna be able to eat and sleep and juggle everything? It's it's hard. It's hard for everybody. It's not easy. And I'm going to be here to help you along with that. So, I guess first thing to know with stress is like, well, how do you recognize it? How do you see that it's affecting you and how to handle it? For starters, stress is like anything that challenges your, I guess, current feelings. I guess it's honestly one of the like vast majority of problems that start to snowball mentally, and I guess it's up to not by yourself, but try to figure out ways to deal with it. So, some causes, I said it earlier, some stress could be like school or work, but some problems of it can be risking of burning out, Like if you've been going to school for the past, I don't know, 3 months, we're right in December, and all that work that has been piling up just crashes down, you could by all means be risk of burning out and just everything you could be on top of just crashing down on you, and that's okay. Everyone goes through that. Essentially, it's not easy, but some things that I personally would do, and I'll go a little more detail on like other stress management that I don't do, but I know can work. Uh, First off, I guess what I try to do is try to get my mind off of it. Try to find things that will, I don't know, let me escape for a while. I don't know. For some, it may be video games. Some it could be reading. Some it could be just hanging out with friends. Anything that can help you get your mind off what you're thinking. Help you just forget about the world or just try to calm yourself down. Um, and it's not like a permanent fix because nothing really is going to help a lot other than just trying to manage everything. Um, but if you can develop good stress relieving habits to help you go through like a tough situation or anything that just, overwhelms you, by all means, like you could start exercising regularly. Meditation's a good one too. Meditation's great. Um, Opening up about it with your friends and family, because it's honestly something that you shouldn't bear alone. I know that I can rely on my friends and my family when I'm just going through a tough time. So having that ability to open up, if you can, is just essential. It's really essential to help calm your body, because it's gonna slowly just topple over you. Excuse me, sorry. Um, Another thing is limiting stressors like wherever you can. So if one of your stressors is work and schoolwork, and you just can't get on top of it, and that's the biggest stress in your life, just try to lack of a some term, finish your work. I know that's not the best way to explain it, but if you can minimize your work, you will minimize your stress. That's how I see it. And honestly, the less you have on your plate, the more you can manage it. Stress is harmful to your body. Chronic stress can lead to less sleep, less, eating, less taking care of yourself. Uh, if you haven't been through that situation, you might know somebody who has. Your friend that's been sleeping at 5 a.m., eating at weird times, and just not taking care of themselves. Your body can get sick. You can just lose sleep. It's not good for your health, and it's tough. It's really tough. You can tell when you're stressed. I know when I'm stressed when I get headaches. I'm really irritated at everything. Oh, I can't sleep, and like I just really can't think. Sometimes it's hard to get away from it all, but when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, at that point, just do some stress relieving tips, eliminating stresses, or if you're just going through that moment, go into your stress relieving habit, like exercise or meditate or just listen to music. Some simple things like that can really help you, uh, you know, just ease up. Um, what else? Oh, and another thing. If you have in your college, university, or if you're going into college yourself, uh, by all means, just take advantage of the resources that your university gives you. I know, like, in recent times, mental health has become very important to everybody in your work life, at home, in school. And it's really encouraging and it's great to see that these places are recognizing the issues of it. So if your school also offers places to just relax, places to just kick back and not think about school or work, please take advantage of that. It's going to be imperative if you're going to feel better about your situation, if you're going through a tough time. That's just going to be the best thing to do in this situation. Um, what's for I guess to go along that, anxiety, right? Stress and anxiety are like almost hand in hand. They build off one another, and so it's here. Let me explain like this. Um, when you're anxious, you're having this mental block, or you're just you overthink yourself. Like you have many what if thoughts, right? Like, oh, what if I don't study enough and I fail this test? Or, oh no, what if I can't speak in front of the class, but I have to go to this presentation, so I'll just call in sick. When you're having anxiety, um, now, and everyone has this, everyone goes through anxiety in their lives. whether it be school or just life in general. It's normal to feel anxiety. It's normal to be affected by it. The best you can do is recognize it and um try to work with it. Once you see the signs of recognizing it in yourself or in others, for example, it's gonna you know, help you and your friend get through it. So first sign, like stress, overthinking. Usually, if someone is anxious or you're anxious, you start overthinking everything going through your mind. You overthink little things. You overthink um, the future. And the more you overthink, the more that mental block gets bigger and bigger. Now, for some, it's easy to just get over it. But for others, it's not. When you're anxious, you avoid things. So when I mention avoiding speaking in class for your presentation because you are scared of public speaking, that's something that's very common. Uh, Avoidance of some things that don't make you feel right. Uh, is for my advice for that would be to try to eventually face that fear head on, because once you take that step over the line of your anxiety, that anxiety will eventually decrease slowly and slowly, but it's not gonna happen overnight. A lot of these tips I'm gonna say, and what my experience is, none of this happened immediately, and there's some times where I have to struggle to get over that hump. But everything takes time. Everything needs to build up to that something. So whether it be trying to manage your stress, whether it be trying to have the courage to talk about your presentation in front of your class, it takes time to get to that point. There's no need to rush anything, no need to just jump right in. All right, next, sweating and stomach issues. When you're going through an anxiety attack or just generally anxious, your body's going to react to it too. Your physiological body is going to just react to how you're feeling. Sweating is normal. When you're having a stomach problem, you'll feel nauseous. You'll feel like you need to vomit. Stress can cause a lot of physical problems. And with stress comes anxiety. So I guess stress and anxiety are hand in hand a little bit. But let's keep moving forward. Next up, panic attacks. Those are heavy. People have panic attacks when they are going through an anxious or a form. Okay, let me rephrase. Panic attacks are a form of anxiety, right? Like, anxiety is a big term, right? Think of it like this. And panic attacks are underneath an umbrella. When you experience a panic attack, then you do experience anxiety. But you can have anxiety, but you can have anxiety, but it does not mean you'll get a panic attack. So let me go into more detail. When you're a student, you can experience a panic attack when you have a test coming up, because the pressure of school and the fear of failing, or just you wanting to do so well, can be overwhelming to you. And everyone can experience a panic attack, but so if we're talking about in college, it's can be everything. It could be anything. It could be if you're living in an apartment, it could be you worrying about paying rent. If you're going through a breakup in school, it's a multitude of things, and it can come at random times. A lot of the times you could feel like you're dying, so heart attack or you can't breathe. And the best way to remind you to get out of that panic attack is to remind yourself that you're just under a lot of stress, that you just need to breathe, mentally get back to where you are, and just try to get to that point of calm. So in this situation, if you're wanting to help calm yourself down, it's kind of cliche, but just breathe. Um, breathe slowly. Make sure it is just in um, perfect pace, and slowly but surely, you're gonna get yourself to the point where you want to be. And if you know you anybody or you yourself need help from panic attacks, by all means, please seek a professional therapist or counselor. But if you can handle it yourself, still do it. But this is another a good way to deal with anxiety. Um, you also have a lack of patience and have the need to be reassured when your anxiety overcomes you. When you're feeling anxious or worried of something, you really just need a friend or a family member, a teacher or a therapist to let you know everything is okay. Um, Example would be if you have a heart rate that's really high and you think it's a medical problem, you're gonna have to go see a medical provider, see if you're healthy. That kind of thing. Sometimes you may need to experience a negative thought just because, your imagination can run away with itself. And when that happens, it is helpful for, someone to tell you that these thoughts are just, in your thoughts. They're not really what's happening. And if you can have someone challenge these thoughts and just try to ground you to where they are, those really help. Um, as a mental health a therapist would be the most qualified person to help with. Uh, but essentially, these are just worries. These are just worries and thoughts in your head. And if it's really something that that you struggle with, please go see a mental. I'm gonna repeat that a lot. Uh, I didn't say this before, but I am not a registered psychologist. I'm not a registered psychiatrist. I'm simply just here to give my, I guess, 2 cents on the situation, or not situation, the topics, because I've been through it myself. I've experienced stress, anxiety. I've had symptoms of depression myself, so I know the feeling. So everything I'm saying here is basically from a peer-to-peer standpoint. So please, if you really know somebody, by all means, do not hesitate to go see a mental health psychologist or somebody that's qualified. So moving on, procrastination. That is a big one. I myself struggle with this a lot. Procrastination is it's hard to get over it because when you're dealing with something that just causes you so much distress in your life, do you really want to handle it? Normally, no. I know people that have procrastinated for so long that they're behind in school, and when you talk to them, they're just having a feeling of or overwhelming feeling of just I just don't want to do it. I'm just tired. I don't want to keep going on with it. And sorry. All that can just lead up to just a um, hard time, essentially. Um, when you're doing this, I guess the only tip I can give for procrastination, which is probably not the best, but to just do it. The proper way to be to schedule everything, have a to-do list on your phone, have something that keep you on track with these assignments. Maybe it's your work too. Maybe schedule things where you have time to do everything, but you also have time for yourself. Trouble concentrating is a very big one. People with anxiety, when I know, I've lost my train of thought a lot. So cramming for a test because you're scared that you're not going to know. Or just anything that can lose your train of thought or you just can't complete a task, that's another sign of anxiety. Once you notice a pattern though, those uh, those steps will help you. Constant worrying, trouble of breathing, headaches, all these things are just a sign of you and your body just not dealing well with the situation around you. Um, overall, overall, I mean, sorry, overall, excuse me. Stress and anxiety go hand in hand, right? They go hand in hand, and once you see the signs of yourself sweating, you can't think, you're losing sleep, all of that alone is steps and like just mental notes. Um, like I said earlier, a lot of the tips for stress and anxiety go hand in hand. So I won't go too much into it, but uh, please take some time for yourself. Take your time when dealing with a hard time. Maybe it's a loss of a sense of direction. Maybe you don't know what you want to do with your school, with your future. It's tough. No one's gonna get it right the first time. So find somebody to talk to, do things you like to do, make an effort to just sleep or breathe or relax for that matter. All of that is gonna go far. Um, all of that's gonna help and just put your mind at ease. Um, the This is gonna be the heaviest topic that I myself have. I want to say struggled, but experienced depression. As a college kid, depression is there. I know a lot of jokes are made about it. I know for some people, it's always there and it's a struggle every day. You don't know when it's going to strike, and sometimes that just, you know, overpowers you a lot of times. Um, Being in college is a major stress in itself. You have your future to worry about, you have your life, essentially. And if you have, family you need to take care of, you have to balance, being with your family and focusing on your education. There's just a lot of factors when you're in college that really affect you. Um, and you're not alone. You're definitely not alone by all means. So, when depression is defined as a mood disorder that causes feelings of sadness, loss of interest, and it could go on for weeks to years. And by all means, it's normal to feel sad. It's normal to feel sad and down, but those feelings do go away. But with people with depression, it's different. The feeling of sadness and emptiness is constant. It's always there. It's always at the back of their head. And if it's not taken care of, if it's not treated well, it's going to affect their daily lives, their activities, how they go about their day. And interesting enough, college students are almost the most susceptible to depression. They have to, we have to balance academics, social life, extracurriculars, and sometimes mental health is put on the back burner. You know, sometimes it could be living away from home. That could be the start of it. Ultimately, you just can't function how you like to be. I know during the pandemic, it caused this to be bad, I guess. During the pandemic, I know mental health was bad. Being at home, not being able to be social with anybody, the days going by and just zipping past you. So, while quarantine is over and we're out and about now, it that doesn't mean that that problem has gone away. It's very much still there. So I guess some of the signs and symptoms of depression would be persistent, like low bad mood, feelings of sadness, worthlessness, can't focus, or your memory is hard, you can't make decisions, self esteem is low, thoughts of death and suicide. They are pretty serious things that happen. Restlessness, insomnia, weight loss too, and there's a multitude of problems that go down the list that I don't want to just keep listing. But all these things are very just overwhelming to experience, and for some, you you won't even know. You don't know the signs half the time. You don't know when someone else is going through a hard time, but you just depression is tough, and uh, there are a lot of causes for it. A lot of causes. It could be if you have a family member that has a history of depression, or you go through major life change or trauma, or you have seasonal depression. That's also very much a thing too. All in all, it just can happen to anyone. It can happen to everyone. You could be your friend. It could be your own family. It could be somebody that you've met once. When my first tip for dealing with depression in college, very first tip is to talk to someone that's professional, because if you decide to try to climb that mountain yourself, it's gonna be too heavy for you to climb. It's gonna be just overwhelming. And sure, you have your friends, sure, you have your family, but somebody that's actually trained to help deal with this, they are the best to go to. Sometimes it's not the best option for you, whether it be monetarily or you just don't want to go there. But seeing a counselor, seeing a therapist, there are many organizations out there that can help, and even your school too may offer it. Please take that first step to talk to a professional. But next, get adequate sleep. Get some sleep. I cannot stress this enough. I myself struggle with getting enough sleep too. So that's something I need to work on too. But if I have the ability to tell all my peers, please get some more sleep and manage your stress well. You're going through depression. Having stress of like school and maintaining academic performance, it's gonna be too much for you to handle. You know, it's good to have a support system. Have a support system where you can have friends to talk to, someone to open up to if you're too scared or you don't have, you know, the ability to talk to a professional. Have someone you can open up to. It's not good to keep all your pent up stress, your pent up, anger. Everything needs to be opened up. So please have that friend group or that one friend. Or if it's your family member, go to them. Bottom line is don't have that, pent up inside you. Another thing when you're in college, avoid drugs and alcohol. I know that's probably the most obvious in the situation, but when you're going through something like that mentally, drugs and alcohol can make that worse. I know that alcohol abuse, substance abuse, those people that go through depression sometimes go into drugs and alcohol to cope, and that actually just makes the symptoms worse. The more you want to get away from what's hurting you, the more you're going to crave that, and then after that you're going to have more problems on top of each other. It's a short-term relief, but in the long run it's going to hurt worse. Make better connections with your friends and family. That's a big one. I talked about that earlier, but if you have an opportunity to play video games with your friends, have a video call, just to talk, hang out, meet up. Or if you have the chance to meet in person, be with them, meet with them. You know, the more you're social, it helps most. And it's easier said than done. I know that it's easier said than done by all means. But honestly, if you have someone there, it'll be better. When the pandemic forced all of us to go off campus, go to Zoom University, as we like to joke about, it was tough. I know I myself had a hard time. A lot of people had a extremely hard time as well. And when we are online, we don't have that social aspect of it. Uh, the lasting mental effects of just life in school, it just towers over you. It towered over me for at one point. And by going to counseling for your school, if you have it now, at least, you have that opportunity to talk to some professional person. You can create a mental health plan with them. You could help yourself or someone else to get over it. But see a counselor, see anybody talk about it. For depression, I know that a lot of people have different methods, whether it be taking medication. Um, I haven't had, I haven't been diagnosed with depression. I know some have. Every person's methods are different. But depression symptoms, I definitely have experienced by all means. So, with all that, keep that in mind. Talk to somebody. So, all right, let's go. So, overall, I've talked about stress, I've talked about anxiety, depression, all these things. You could be a person that only experiences stress and they never feel or experience depressive symptoms. You could be somebody who has all three of these things that I talked about. But what are your thoughts? I want to let the chat talk to me. Ask me questions that I can talk about. Just fire away a question. Um, and again, let me remind you, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just trying to get my 2 cents in the situation. In the meantime, yeah, I know I went over myself, but I am a 22-year-old college student from Loyola University Chicago. I am from Illinois. I'm a psych major. So a lot of these things that I did talk about, I also learned in class too, so there's also that. Uh, it was really interesting to talk about this. Jimmy, so if your girlfriend broke up with you, I'm sorry that happened. But I guess my tip is just to get your mind off of it. If it's really bothering you that much, if you're going through something that hard, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody to get your mind off of it. Or if it really is overwhelming, see somebody that can help you, a counselor, a therapist, anything like that. Sorry. What else did I see? Josh, so how do you deal with depression? Yeah, I mentioned earlier, dealing with depression, it can have it. A lot of people have different methods. A lot of people have their methods of just, sleeping. Positive methods would be just to have order, I guess. So schedule yourself, at 12 o'clock I'll have lunch, all right? Then at 4 I'll go to the gym. And then at 7 I'll finish homework. Dealing with depression, like I said earlier, it has a multitude of methods to do. And the biggest ones would be talk to somebody, get a lot of sleep. I know someone said in the chat to get a lot of sleep. taking care of your stress, avoid drugs and alcohol, eating right also. I forgot about that. Eating right is the most important thing. If you're not eating, you're gonna be just hurting your body even more. But when you're dealing with stress, there's just a lot to go through, and just find ways to deal with with that work the best for you. Um, I know for me, when I have gone through depressive episodes, what can I say? I pretty much turned to my friends. It wasn't good to just close up. Uh, Talk to your friends. You know, talk with those around you that need help. Talk with those that can help you. Sometimes you don't even need somebody that's, a medical professional. Sometimes you just need someone to listen to you, or at least have gone through what you're feeling. Um, you know, Anybody that can listen, find them, because maybe that's all you need. Maybe that's all you need. One of my friends came out of my comments that how do I respond to him in a considerate way? Well, be supportive. If your friend wants to come out but doesn't want to, be supportive as much as you can. Um, it's very brave to come out. You have to deal with a lot of people that come out that are in the LGBT community. They have to deal with a lot of stigma. And I know, like, our society hasn't been the greatest. It's been a rough, few years to get to where, like, I could go on and on about civil rights, social justice, but if you want to help be considerate with them, be as supportive as you can. Encourage that person. Allow them to feel comfortable, because it's not easy to do that. It's really not easy to do that at all. Help them find the courage to do it. Help them find that's something that helps them push through. Other than that, yeah, my only advice would be like that is to be supportive. They came to you in their the most vulnerable time. That means they trust you enough to come for your help. So, with that alone, just keep supporting them. Allow them to be more open with you, and just be yourself. Let me have the background music going a little bit too. Any other questions? Like, just shoot away in the chat. I'm giving this time to you to talk about. If you want to hear more about me, ask me more stuff. Zach. I'm getting worse over time. I tried that 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I was adapting. Just can't live this. Zach, if you're feeling very suicidal and depressed, please see a mental professional. It's hard. Please see somebody that needs help, that can help you. Talk to somebody, and just please go see somebody. It's really tough that you are feeling this way, that your mental health is getting worse. So my only advice for that is please see somebody that can help you more than I can, because I am not in the position to help you as much as I want to. Please see somebody else. See a therapist, see a doctor, please. What people I know is trying to make friends. What is a few good ways to help him with this problem? If your friend is struggling to make friends, making that connection in college, try to help them find things that they will help. What's my English? Find ways that they like to do that could help them make connections with others. Um, Say, for example, your friend likes to play video games. If he likes to play video games, maybe have him play with some of your friends and see if they work well. Or try to go to social events with them. I know a lot of universities and organizations in universities have social events. Have that friend of yours go there and just talk to more people. The more open you are about yourself, the more people will trust you. And so, with that in mind, yeah, try to have your friend be more open with what they like to do. Help them find more like-minded people they want to see and whatnot, and just, yeah. I was struggling to make friends. I seem to sit at home all day, watch anime, play video games. Well, if that's the case, Jimmy, see if you have any organizations at your university that can, anime club or video game. I don't know if it's called video game club, but see if your organization has that. The more people that you see have the same likes as yours, the better that you can to make connections, make friends. For all I know, my friends are open up. It's like they're finding their own demons. When your friends are struggling with opening up, my advice is to not force it. Don't force your friends to open up like that, because everyone's going through something. Everyone is going through a tough time. Everyone is trying to deal with their own problems. I said earlier, everything takes time, and this is one of these things. Socially, you can't rush things. Again, you can't rush making friends. You can't rush just changing yourself to be happy. Just take time. If they don't want to open up, they don't want to open up. But if you can, have them do it, yeah. I see. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, focus on yourself better. Alright. The first big step when trying to make friends is to make sure you're in the right state of mind. You don't want to be just not there when you want to make that connection. So, yeah, work on yourself first, actually. Work on yourself first to the point where you're good mentally. And then try again. Try to make more friends. Try to make new friends. Try to help yourself. It's good to have friends, but if they are not helping your mental, if they're not helping you just be comfortable, yes, but that's just my opinion. That's my thoughts. I know myself, I've dropped friends in the past because they weren't doing good for me mentally. I'm not gonna get into details because this is not what I'm here for. But yeah, I've had my fair share of friends that I struggle to keep a handle on. But no, I've been in that situation though. I've dropped some friends. I know I've some high school, middle school. I don't middle school, but it's normal to drop. It's normal to do that. What matters the most is you take care of yourself. Hello, Ivan. Welcome. I'm just talking. I'm letting people ask questions in the chat. If you have anything that you want to ask about for mental health reasons, like stress, anxiety, or just trying to manage it, ask away. When should you drop friends? Well, we know that, when you're in college that you have a lot of stress in your life with school and homework. A factor that I didn't really talk much about is your social life, essentially, because college shouldn't just be about business all the time, because this is a really pivotal moment in your life. This could determine if you're gonna be able to have abilities to go to a better job. When you're dealing with dropping your friends, you need to understand that there are other ways to handle situations, right? So yeah, reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, or reach out to groups that can help. What happens when my friend came out to me and I don't feel the same way? If you don't feel the same way, respect the decision, but also respect yours. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, but you don't have to make it a problem. You don't have to cause your friendship to go away. Respect their decision to do it. That's what I have to say about that. How do you see your future, and what do you expect in life? That's a deep one. When I see my future, I like to imagine that I will be able to be fine, I guess, with a lack of a better term. Be fine. I can live comfortably. I could be happy with my life, with my friends, my family. I could be just, I won't say content, but alright. That's, what I can think at that moment right now. That's the first word that comes to my mind. I guess I haven't really thought about the future too far, right? I guess I haven't thought too far in the future with how many things are going on in my life, with, trying to juggle school and life in general. But, what do I expect in life? I guess to say what I expect in life is just to be able to help those that I care about, right? I want my future to be at a point where I not only have the ability to just go day by day, but move further than that. I want to help my friends with their issues. I want to be able to help those in need, I guess I want to make the best out of everyone's lives, whether it be just helping them through a tough time, or just bettering someone else's. I want that. That's what I expect in life. I expect in life to be able to help those that need help, and have the ability to not worry so much about myself. That's a good question, Ivan. That actually was really a deep. I'm not gonna lie. That made me think a lot. But let's see. Let me read the chat again. If no rooms is up, you drop them. What should you drop, friends? Oh yeah, back to the. I never really finished my last bit for the dropping friends part. If your friends in that moment are not doing good for you mentally, if they're not helping to understand, if they're not making the point of understanding what you're going through, I guess in that sense, drop them. It's, how to say this, your mental health is important. Your social life is important. Your friends shouldn't be the reason why your mental health is bad. You can have your own personal reasons. That's up to you. But when you should quote unquote drop your friends, if they're if they're not taking care of yourself, if they're not helping you, you know, do things that better your mental health, then by all means drop them and find better friends. Find those that help you get through any tough parts of your life. That's the most important. But if you need to drop friends, do it if they're bad for your mental health. That's what I would say. Any other questions? Let's see. Happens where a friend came out to me, but I don't feel the same way. We talked about that. I mean, if anything, how's everyone feeling right now? How's their mood? You know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on life? I know that a lot of kids, you know, a lot of teenagers and high schoolers are going to college soon. A support system is great. Yes. Having that support system is amazing too. It goes a long way. When I was talking about stress, anxiety, you know, a big one is support system. We need to start thinking about others to be more grateful for what we have. I feel like we're losing the basic ethics in today's situations. That's a fair point. That's a very fair point, Ivan. You know, that's true. I agree. I think the best way to handle situations is just try to put yourself above others. You know, do the best you can to support yourself, support anyone that's around you. You know, that goes back to like just seeing the signs, I guess. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Dang, I forgot what I was gonna say. But any other questions? I'm depressed. I see. Automatic. I think. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. If you're depressed, I think you probably missed my spiel. But if you're depressed, please see a mental. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. It helps to have people who will listen and not judge you. It is vital to have that person or group that you can be honest with. Sometimes that is a therapist. That is true, yes. That is very true. I said this earlier, but a good way to help deal with depression and sadness or thoughts of depression, just to talk to somebody. Yeah, that was a troll. That was a troll though, yes. But I mean, that does bring up a good point though. Having that person to talk to is really important. I said earlier to another person in the chat that sometimes you don't even need a therapist. Sometimes you just want somebody to listen and somebody to talk to you, and that's probably the best thing to do. You don't always have to talk. You don't even. Sometimes maybe you just need to take your mind off of it. You know, sometimes just doing something that takes your mind off of what you are feeling helps a lot. Yeah, I don't know. There's, you know, some people some people think it's funny, you know, but it's okay. I can just, don't worry about it. It's fine. No, that's very true. I know, when I'm dealing with depressive symptoms, my first thought would be to tell somebody, just let it all out. You know, I don't want to be carrying that baggage wherever I go. I don't want to have to deal with keeping that inside. But same, and that can go with stress. That can go with anxiety. You know, which are both, I guess, hand in hand. Just talking to somebody helps a lot, in my opinion. Other than that, yeah. Yeah, this is a safe space, guys. This is a safe space, so do not be afraid to open up. Do not be afraid to ask questions. I'm here to talk and just give my just give my 2 cents. And I'm also a college student too, so I can experience things that if not a lot of college kids, I keep saying kids, college students have gone through. Thank you, David. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you. I did some research the other day. It turns out today's generation has revolutionized psychological health compared to older generations. Yeah. I know the older generations didn't really care about mental health. It was something that just was not talked about much, or just, pushed off to the side. And it's great that we have more awareness towards it, because mental health is no joke. So you can't necessarily contact me, but if you go to Step Up for Mental Health, we have peer support chats. We have peer support facilitators that you can talk to for anything that you need. Please go check that website out. They're a wonderful group. This organization is amazing. I've been working with them for the past few months now. So please, by all means, talk to them. What are some students dealing with when they are first-time college students? When you're a first-time college student, this is a good one. It could be a tidal wave of everything. Just being home away from home. It could be the overwhelming experience of being in college. You've made it through middle school. You've made it through high school, and now you're here. This is like the big step in your life where you're gonna go on and hopefully just, go to your dream job afterwards. I remember when I was a first-time college student, I was just excited to be home, or like to be there. The experience of being independent, the experience of being on my own, I guess. That just was the most overwhelming, exciting, and scary part of it. And I can say that for a lot of college students. I know if you are in college, or if you're already in, your way out, I could probably say our first experience when we went to college was, wow, we're here. And then after that, it's the whole just, all right, this is my future. I need to get through it. And then, so on and so forth. It's just you experiencing what you're going through. But yeah, I guess some of the students that are dealing with their first time being in college would be, I've had some female friends who have had trouble with their roommates. So, if they have trouble with their roommates, communication is key. Communication is important to have, really. You need to talk to your roommate. You're living with them for maybe a few months or so, and just you're gonna want to talk to your roommates, because you're gonna be living with them. You're sharing a space with them. So communication is key. See if you could find any resolution. This is my advice to your friends. See if you can have any resolution to the problems you're dealing with. If you can find that middle ground, then I feel like your roommate's problems would start to ease up. Homework and time management. I've been doing homework since 7 o'clock in the morning. It's 4 and I'm just procrastinating. Yeah, I guess time management's too. That's important too. Managing your time, managing like everything that goes on, just, you know, yeah, manage your everything. Manage homework, manage your social life, manage sleep and eating. Cannot stress enough. Get sleep. That's the most important thing to do. Yeah. So, yeah. Anything else? Anything else? Anything about college? Why are you studying, by the way? I am studying psychology. I plan to go into mental health when I graduate. I'm just really passionate about mental health. I think that I want to be part of the moment where it's become, I wouldn't say solved, but when the issues of mental health have been fixed or managed better or manageable, that's where I want to be. So I'm studying psychology. I'm planning to go to the Air Force after graduation and become a mental health specialist. That is what I want to do, and so on and so forth. But yeah. Any other questions? I'm Ethan. I'm Ethan Lagman. I'm a college student again. I am a student intern for Simple for Mental Health, studying psychology at Loyola University Chicago. Great stress reliever reading. Oh yes. Yoga, meditation, writing, reading, journaling, all those are great. Yes, sleep. Forgot about that one. Nothing worse than waking up grumpy AF. You won't get anything. Yeah, I think my worst experience of not sleeping was when I had a paper and a test study for, and so I stayed up for like 2 days just to get it done. It's probably the worst thing that I ever had to experience, but I just felt like during that experience, I couldn't think, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't, do anything. I feel that at college, my life feels very artificial at points. What can I do? If you're feeling that points of your life are feeling artificial, as you say, I think the best thing to do would just be true to yourself. Be able to just, do what you want to do and not feel like you need to change yourself, really. In college, this is the time to be yourself, really. Be the best self you can and don't fake anything. I drink whenever I feel depressed. It picks up real quick. Definitely not good coping. Yeah, I'm going to butcher your name, but Chicano? Yeah. I mentioned this earlier before. Yes, it is something that picks you up real quick. The downside is that it is a very, very temporary thing to experience. And you could be very much be heading towards alcohol abuse by doing that, because you want to have that feeling over and over again. A good coping mechanism that I do is just to talk to somebody. Doesn't have to be a therapist, doesn't have to be a counselor. Talk to somebody. Let someone know what you're feeling. Sometimes just simply letting it out just helps a lot. Another thing is that I mentioned earlier will be to just sleep, a lot of sleep. Manage your stress too. Find ways to just better your mental health. And yeah, avoid drinking and doing drugs, because those things could just lead to multiple problems. I once told my teacher straight up, I'm leaving class because I'm lacking sleep. Do studying. I'll see the class recording later. Yeah, a lot of universities and teachers, professors have taken mental health seriously. You know, whether it be like just noticing your students just being exhausted and tired, it goes a long way. It goes a long way, and I've been there too. I've been, I've had a lot of sleepless nights, whether it be studying or procrastinating or both. But yeah, it's great that your professor understood. Yeah, I'm there right now. Definitely alcohol abuse. I guess for me then, my advice would just seek professional help by all means. Like, and you're in no way. I'm not judging you anyway. Uh, I'm not judging you anyway. But my advice: see a professional person, seek some help. Uh, the sooner you get to solve these issues with somebody that cares, the better. What else? Yeah. Okay. Sure. Let's see. My friends keep telling me, as long as you're happy. What does that mean? It's stressing me out. Well, assuming your friends don't have any malicious intent, they just want you to do what makes you feel happy, and that's really just more of a support system. If they really mean what they mean, then whatever makes you happy, they'll go along with it. So again, I guess yeah, I like that advice. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. So I've heard college is a place to find a girlfriend, but I've been struggling to do so. Do you have any experience with this winter? Well, this isn't the kind of stream for that, Justin. I apologize, but um, my advice for that is just focus on college. Focus on college. Don't focus on a girlfriend. This is your life. This is your future. I'm also not one to talk about this with this topic. But yeah, so just focus on college. That's all I'm saying. Work on yourself first. Make sure you're good before you think about those things. Anything else? Anything else? Please. Thank you. Another thing. If you, well, yeah, I guess one last thing about that before I move on is just literally as long as you're happy, because I'm guessing your friends mean well. I hope they mean well. If you really want to know, just ask them. Just ask them to be straight up with you and just like talk to you. That's all. I mostly drink to feel better. If I am okay, I feel great. If I feel down, I feel okay. It is an enhancer. I'm maintaining financial responsibility in my career, though. It is not debilitating. Okay. Well, let me think. What are you doing to feel better? Yeah, you may be fine and responsible financially, but you have to think about the effects of it mentally, I guess, right? I mean, you don't want to be reliant on alcohol. Yes, I know that it helps you yourself feel okay. It helps pick you up. It is an enhancer, yes, but that's a very temporary enhancer. You don't want that to be the thing that just keeps you down. Not keep you down, but the thing that you go towards your go-to way of just feeling better. So, yeah, my advice, find another thing that makes you feel better. Like, what else makes you feel good aside from drinking, you know? Is it hanging out with friends, you know, playing paintball, playing a sport, you know, just anything that also makes you feel better other than alcohol. I would be happy if, yeah, they'd have to cope. My friends say that I feel like I'm lacking social cues. Can you explain them? if you feel like that, then just talk with your friends. Ask them what they mean. Bring it up. I'd like to assume, and I hope you do too, that they're just being friends looking out for you. But yeah, just ask straight up. Hey, ask what you think. What do you mean by this? This is very stressful to me if it really is. And yeah, ask them to help you out. I think there's much thing as a permanent enhancer, even if it goes, but this is a temporary as well, so the next time. Alright, that's good to know. Yeah, there is no permanent enhancer. Nothing can be. It's all just, yeah, very temporary. But if completing goals makes you feel good, by all means, hammer that in. Keep doing that. You don't want, you want to be able to feel good. And if that what makes you feel good, focus more on that. Focus more on just finishing things. Find that satisfaction. But yes. Let's see. And Justin, yes. I know, college is a stressful time. But I am not one to answer about relationships. This is not my life. That's not the kind of life I'm doing right now. But I guess in your situation, don't focus on finding a girlfriend. Focus on doing school while in school. You don't want to be failing school because you're busy finding a girlfriend. So do that. Is it true that there are long-term effects of these enhancers, alcohol, marijuana, and other drugs? Well, yeah, there is long-term effects. All right, let's look at alcohol, for example. If we're looking at college students' perspective, somebody that uses alcohol as a coping mechanism, as a pick-me-up, or even a reward when they're done with school, it could lead not to only mental problems, but it could lead to health-wise. Yeah, health-wise, it's like you could end up with a liver that's just bad. You don't want to do that. I know that that's a big issue. Other drugs like marijuana and other stimulants, they could help create addiction, which goes same for alcohol. But yeah, long-term effects is definitely addiction. And if you want to stop, withdrawal is not an easy thing to handle with. Let's see. I struggle to speak up in class. Every time I have to, I just feel kerfuffled. If you're having trouble speaking up in class, my advice for that is just practice. Practice opening up, practice public speaking. It's more, that right there is more public speaking skills. So if you're needing to deal with something like that, yeah. There's programs that can help with just being social, so please seek them out, search for them, and take advantage of them. Otherwise, alcohol definitely has alcohol has long-term effects on your liver. Like I said earlier, it's tough. That's all I can say. It's your personal experience. Focusing on educating yourself instead of studying big difference. What? Based on personal experience, focus on educating yourself instead of... yes. Focus on yourself. And that advice can go for literally everything. It could go for just bettering yourself or bettering your friend's mental health. Everything bases on you bettering yourself, because once you help you, you're good. What is your aim with this type of study, sir? Therapy, psychologist? I think more therapeutic kind of situation. Yeah, therapy is where I'm thinking more of. Thanks for the advice, Ethan. This will help stay in a positive mental state going through my breakup with my girlfriend, Leanne. I'm glad I can help, Amol. I'm glad I can help. Just focus on yourself and try to do better with your mental state. And yeah, if you need more counseling help, please visit the website that I think was put earlier, stepupformentalhealth.org. And yes, if you need somebody to talk to, please, we have peer support specialists you can talk to. Please go see them. But yeah, my aim for psychology would be therapy. A little about myself. I've had a lot of moments, in my life where I've kind of played the role of a therapist. I have helped those who are going through a tough time. So, just being able to having the ability to go further with that and help others, and be, I guess, legal about it, but more educated about it, really. So, but yeah, I'm gonna be closing the stream soon. I'll take any final thoughts. But yes, so any final thoughts, any final questions, I'll take them now. You seem interested in assisting people with their issues, at least as far as this live goes. That would be a fulfilling job that I would have taken, and had I finances to take these courses. Yeah, my, I guess, desire, or not desire, but like dream, would just to help others. I guess maybe not altruistic or just have, some plans, but yeah, that is what I want to do. But yeah, I don't really know how to say about that. All right. Final question. I'll take a final question from anybody in the chat. And yeah. If not, thank you for your insight. Thank you, Devansh. Thank you, Devansh. Of course, yeah. No, I'm glad. Like I said, I'm a college student myself, so I give my own things. All right, last question. What do you believe will be the greatest challenge you have to face throughout your career? I guess the biggest challenge, or the greatest challenge I'll have to face out of my career, would probably have to be, the journey of making it. The path to become a psychologist is like, or a therapist or anything like that, it's more schooling, it's a lot of studying, but honestly, that's the only challenge I have to do. But just getting there is gonna be the hardest thing, but once I'm there, I'm good. I can do what I want to do, and that's that. So this has been Mental Talk. Let's talk about Mental Health College Edition. My name is Ethan Roy Palmaris Lagman. I am a college student from Loyola University Chicago and an intern with Center for Mental Health. I want to thank everyone for coming out and watching me. If you need any mental health support, please visit us at stepupformentalhealth.org. And yes, I'm your host, Ethan Lagman. Thank you for watching.